todos. Hello, everyone. I am Joan Espinal from Medellin, Colombia. Today, we are going to talk about avatars with our lead artist, Toby, and our art director, Milenko. So, Milenko, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Good morning, people. It's what is it like 7 a.m. in Australia? Had a little bit of sleep, and now we want to talk about avatars. My name is Milenko, and I'm the art director of Strange Loop Games. Um, so for this occasion, I guess we want to talk about the avatars. Is my screen shared?
Oh, I'm not sharing your screen yet. First, we want to introduce Toby, and then I'll go to your screen if you don't mind.
Okay, no
So,
worries.
Toby, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Toby, the lead of the art team. I live like 20 minutes away from Milenko, just coincidentally. But I mean, you can see on that map that everyone's pretty spread out, but for some reason, we're like right next door to each other. So that's
Yeah,
fun.
there's like a little cluster of Strange Loop Game people in Brisbane.
Yeah,
So
it's
That's
nice.
nice.
We've been working together for a while, but we've only met up. I think I've met up with Milenko once, and then we've met up as like a Brisbane crew once as well. So we should
yeah,
do it more, but it was kind of hard during lockdown and everything. So
yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we now have Milenko's screen sharing. And Milenko, you feel free to go to start.
So the screen is on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is what you see on the screen at the moment is Eco Avatar. First one we ever did. I think this was actually done before the game even existed. We were kind of throwing stuff around and just showing it to show you the history of like avatar development for Eco. So this little caveman doodle was done by Rob. It was first time that we started thinking about what the avatars for Eco would look like. Obviously, they didn't end up looking like this. So after that, in December 2014, we built a little demo. Like first time ever, we got some visuals for Eco, and first avatars for the look like this. Nobody's ever seen them, I think. I think that's fortunate. But because we had very little time to put stuff together, we just threw these two in to have some characters moving around. Pretty quickly, like it was obvious this is not going to work. So, but Eco was different game at the time, I guess. So, it was fine. After that, we started thinking about proper like visual style for the characters in the game, and we started designing and thinking about stuff. Next stage was basically a bunch of sketches that we did, and like one of the ideas was this, and like so this was done. So it's tintable. The hairstyles can change color. Like we're considering clothing styles that we can do for the character, like different beards, different kind of outfits, and then showing how they would work with each other. There was some thoughts that were put together in regards, how we deal with male and female characters. How do we keep them kind of equally powerful, and how do we, like use the animation systems to distinguish between the two. So we had a few ideas there, and then what came out was something like this. I'll show you. Uh, yeah, I guess I didn't prepare much for this presentation. I apologize, but it should be fine. So yeah, first 3D model of the avatar looked like this.
Wow.
Like reasoning behind it was basically we were doing like a QB-ish game. So we wanted avatars to kind of fit in the world. But at the end of the day, like we moved a step away from this for the first like incarnation of the avatars. And yeah, sorry, I forgot. Before that, there were some concept sketches where we trying. Basic idea was to try and keep faces generic, so there's not much, like happening in the face, and then keep the outfits interesting. Um, so after that, this was first polished version that we did. Never made it to the game because once again we were not we were not sure it will fit the rest of the game style. But that was like a part of the process. So I apologize. Like the animations were done by me, and I'm not an animator, so this didn't look that great. But it was nice test to have at the time. After that, we did second revision on the avatars, and well, yeah, sorry, I'll show a bit more concept art. Just the other one, we completely ignored the faces, just have like basic faces for the characters. And yeah, again, like we decided to move on from that and not use it. Yeah, some early backpack tests. Um,
I haven't actually seen a lot of these, Milenko.
yeah,
I've
these
seen
are
some of them, but it's cool.
it's sitting in my old folders. I was digging for them last night. It was surprise for me as well.
Hmm.
There's some early designs like that. I think we have had similar to this one somewhere in the game. We'll see that down the line. Then we ended up with avatars we've been using for last few years and some outfits tests for them. I hope one day we still get this stuff happening. The the version, I think cape and sash were actually like in the game for these guys, but
Yep.
we wanted they're originally made to test the cloth physics, so when avatar runs around they kind of flap nicely and look nicely. We still haven't like didn't get to the point where we can use cloth physics, but one day I truly hope we will. Yeah, so the current version of the avatars is basically what we got there. It's looking it was looking okay for the period of time. At the time when we kind of designed and plugged them in, they served the purpose, and the game was in the spot where they're kind of fit for the environment they're existing in. However, they were a bit, like they're pretty deadpan and they're pretty wooden. So we thought we can do better. And last thing we did was trying to get some expressions on them. And I think some of this is working in the game at the moment, but it's not expressive enough. So we decided to have another stab at the avatars and, you know, try to come up with a plan and decide what is it that we want. And basically we wanted to give more variety to the players and give them more chances to deal with, you know, more variety in shapes, more variety in body proportions, more variety in clothes, more expression in the face. So we came up with the plan, and for some reason, it's easy for me to work things out on the paper like this instead of typing them in the Word documents and things. So I did a bunch of sketches, a bunch of explanations where we want to go with the hairstyles. What do we want to do with, like accessories, caps, face masks, like all these things. So we wrote pretty comprehensive thing, and then we kind of got scared because at the time technology we were using to create our avatars was completely in-house, and it was years old at the time. So decision had to be made. What do we do? Because the other thing that the current avatars in Eco had was they were very modder unfriendly. So it would, like, if anybody was to add their own characters or they were to add their own outfits or anything customizable on the character, the process of getting it from model onto the character in the game was very tedious. So we're looking for ways to kind of like clean the process, clean the path, make it easier for people. And then we started looking at technology that we can utilize that would help us bring that variety to the player. And but that's the part I think Toby will be talking about. So I won't go too deep into it. He can
Yeah.
he can
Yeah, I can show
he can
the next
you
part.
can
Yeah.
show and you can explain.
Mhm.
And just one last thing is I don't know, like I think I showed this once to someone at some point. So this is basically some of the concept sketches for the new avatars. And in this case, I was trying to work out because we have backpacks and we have tool sets. I was trying to work out the tool placement, and I was thinking at the moment everything is placed on the backpack, but does it have to be? So I'm at the moment this is work in progress. We can't show this yet, but it's something we're thinking about. And I'm talking about gear that Avatar kind of we can kit him out with to apply the tools better than what we have now. It's just concept stage, so the end product also, yeah, like disclaimer, anything you see today is work in progress. It's prone to be changed and fixed and improved. So what we're showing now is partially what we got done and partially hopes and dreams that we have for the future. So this is about tool placement. So one thing we were thinking about, problem with placing things on the backpack is that they have different, like different scale and proportion. Like a shovel is much bigger than the like a sickle, and all these, like, axe is bigger than the hammer. So we're trying to figure out the way how to make it feel more organic when we kind of putting the tools on. So one of the ideas we're kind of throwing around at the moment is foldable tools that can kind of be compacted and placed. um, so we have basic outfit. Then we have a harness, which would help us for some tools and like make more sense when you're carrying things around. So on the harness, like we can place the axe at the hip, we can place the hammer on the other hip. Bow and arrows can be like strapped and hinged across the back. All this is being done with consideration for the animation, movement, visual, like visual appeal and everything else. So then, like machete can go up, like up to the front across the chest. Then we have a backpack. Then on backpack we start equipping tools. So this is what is it called? Side. I guess it's side. Then chainsaw attached to the side of the backpack. Pickaxe across the backpack. Water bottle, cooking pan, or whatever it is.
It looks
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah, yeah. But fortunately, it's a game,
Yeah.
so our avatars are strong. They can
Yeah.
carry stuff.
The more tools you carry, the more calories you burn.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think you should burn a little less calories than we burn at the moment. So that will come. It'll be fine. So yeah,
Yeah.
the shovel is folded and then and placed across, and then other tools are kind of like placed together with the shovel. So yeah, it's been a lot of work, and a lot of people worked on this stuff over the last couple of months, I would say, and some people worked even longer to bring this new version up. And on that note, Toby, are you happy and
Yep. Oh,
keen to take over?
yep. I
Or
might just
how's
hand over to Geo for a second. I think Geo's got something he wants to do
Uh,
first.
that's fine.
Yeah. Thank you, Toby, and thank you, Milenko. So, for those that are not familiar with the pipeline of a video game, it is really based in a lot of iterations. So we have, as Milenko show us already show us, we have had a lot of iterations for the characters, and we are about to show you is what we think is the right next iteration that we have for the avatars. As you may imagine, is a work in progress. It's an iteration. It may have some modifications, and of course, in order to go in the right direction, we are always happy to listen to the community. So as always, we have on the top of the stream link survey.playecho. Those that can check the forms and give us opinion about the authors would be really appreciated, as that's like our goal is to keep the community really happy. So that's it. We can go ahead with Toby. Toby, your screen is ready now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we've got the when you log in here, we'll go straight into the new avatar screen. 1 second. Yep, there we go. So this, as Gio mentioned, it's still work in progress. So we've been kind of furiously working on it this week to get it all kind of polished. But I'm not sure if my stream's like still lagging very much, or Gio, is it?
Yeah, it has a little bit of lag. We are sorry about that. I mean, it runs really smooth on Toby's computer, but the internet is not helping us.
Yeah, we've got Australian internet, so it's not the best. I'm plugged in and everything. I'm using the best possible setup, but yeah,
We paid money for this stuff.
yeah, I know. More than other countries as well, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So I'll try not to move my my camera around too quickly, so it gets try and keep it as smooth as possible. But okay, so just starting at the top here, we've got like the male and female options. I'll just start with the basic ones for those, and then kind of got these different categories for body, head, and then sort of accessories and miscellaneous sort of stuff. So like tattoos and makeup and things like that. We'll go through. So the left side's kind of where you select what you want to edit, and the right side is the edits that you can make to it. Got a bunch of skin colors here. So some of the colors you'll be able to freely pick, and other ones we've got kind of lockdown colors for.
Yeah, at this point in time, I guess like purple characters are not an option.
Yeah. Although I did like doing that when we were playing around with it. It was fun to like try and recreate Avatar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll jump through a couple of these clothing options. We've got a few more options in the female at the moment, but we're still kind of adding things. The really cool thing with the system that we're using, like we're moving away from our own one to using Uma, which is like a community-driven sort of avatar creator, which is it's got a lot of nice features. It's been a bit of work like learning it, but it means that not only us but like the community, if they want to start modding in clothes and accessories and sort of stuff. Yeah.
It's the previous, well, technically current one that's still in the game.
Yeah.
Is very, very painful if you were to mod it, because part of it was using 3D Studio Max files, and then it was using what is it called, biped, which is legacy 3D Studio Max rig for characters.
Yeah.
And that one is like really hard to work with. So switching to Yuma frees everything a lot.
Yeah. And the good thing as well is because it's kind of like a community driven tool, there's a lot of tutorials out there already on how to use it. So like we'll release our own things, but
And
there's
it's
a
free
lot
too.
of information. Yeah. Yeah. It's free. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm trying to focus and talk at the same time, but it's tricky at this time of the morning.
I just keep on showing, I guess. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
so, yeah.
So that's kind of the options in the body. You got different shoes. this sort of thing. Backpacks. Got 2 of these in. They're looking really cool.
These are just first things we plugged in. There will be more of everything at
Yeah.
at the point of delivery when it's ready to go in the game.
Mm.
There'll be a lot of everything.
Yeah, and it's pretty quick to add things, which is the nice thing about using this system. So the other thing that's quite cool about this is you can kind of customize the shapes and sizes of the bodies. We've kind of got like an early iteration of that. There's a lot more tweaking to do, but you can see that adjusting these, you can add a few different things like changing the size of the arms, beefing them up a bit. But we can, yeah, some of them are pushed a little bit too far at the moment, but that's okay. But we can add a lot of these sort of options for different body shapes, and similar with the head. So if we jump in here to the head, we've got a few different kind of shapes that we can make with the face to, because you know you run around a world in Eco and everyone starts to look very similar.
Yeah, and the current avatars are very deadpan. Like there's no expression on the face, so everybody looks kind of sameish, and the only difference is whatever beard or outfit you put on. Otherwise, it's the same person all the time.
Yeah.
Also, we were like, and this is again because we're talking about hopes and dreams. The other thing is it can be applied to the gameplay as well. We are not sure if we will, but just like so imagine you chopping wood for a whole day, and then the next day you chop some more wood, and then the third day you get big chest and tough muscles. Or you just kind of wander around and eat a lot of food and you get chubby, and then you need to lose weight.
Yeah, you'll be able to see who's being lazy on the server just at a glance.
But
I've got a
it's just the idea at the moment, not necessarily happening.
yeah. I'll go through a few more of these options. So we've got the beard's an interesting one. So yep, there we go, it's working. So previously we just had like a couple of different beards, but now we can kind of split them up into different parts. We can add them as a texture overlay to the base model, or we can also add some mesh. And then you could layer these up with, you got the sideburns and then different mustache types. And the beards. So yeah, there's a lot of options for what you can do, and you can go in and take out some of these. It looks like
You can
Wampe
be
now,
can
one of our artists.
yeah. And you can also and like this plus face shapes changes, you can generate a lot of variety in the
Yeah.
physiognomy.
Yeah. And again, with the face shapes, some of these are a bit wonky, but if you look at it for a while, I feel like you do see people that look like all of these. Like I feel
Yeah,
like I've seen these people before.
yeah. I've seen guy like that yesterday.
This guy has no chin, so he needs a beard. You know?
Yeah, chuck some beard on him.
There you go. See, better. Could be bushier, I think. Okay.
There's questions, Toby. You want to keep on talking, or yeah,
Yeah,
we will
I just
jump
saw the
into
question.
questions, or I mean, we can
Oh,
finish and then go to questions, I
we,
guess, or we can.
we could do them as we go. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. So
Okay, so
Okay.
so let me read one question that is for Milenko. So there is a
Yeah.
question on the chat that asks, "What is the reason going away from the blocky style?"
The reason is the overall style of the game is changing. Not drastically, but each new increment of the game. I mean, keep in mind this game has been developed for last almost like 9 years now, and when we started, we did what we could with technology and with people that we had at the time, and then as the like development of the game progressed, things started changing. So the game is, unfortunately, at this moment, like we're still kind of moving forward, not going back to adjust things. So we have a bit of style discrepancy. And then the other reason is, so I mean, I don't want to lose. Sorry, we have style discrepancy because when we started, game was much chunkier than it is becoming now. Like if you look at new things coming in, like um, things we recently introduced, new block sets, new detail, like building blocks, parts of environment, new plants. They have more detail, and we're looking at making the game more rich. And then the other reason is something that you'll find down, like find more about down the line in the course of this year, is a vision for the future. So these avatars that we're doing now, a lot of stuff gets streamed. A lot of people kind of use avatars for role playing and everything else, and we were kind of not happy with the amount of expressiveness we can get from the current avatars. So we wanted to do another iteration on them where people can personalize them better. And if technically, if you compare them, these guys are iteration of the existing avatar, and blocky ones were just not giving enough variety, I guess. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I sure think it does. Thank you, Milenko. Another question that has already been answered on the chat, but just in case someone missed, someone asked if we can save the preset of the character, and the answer is just that's something that we have on the plans. And the idea is that once you already have an avatar, you can use the avatar that you already created. But it's still something that needs to be worked. Okay, so next question for Toby, we have a small question. Can you change the color of the bird? Of the
Yes,
beard,
you
I
can.
mean.
Yeah, at the moment, the like all of the hair is linked together. So when you choose your colors for your hair, so if you're changing it in the beard, the mustache, the hair, it kind of updates all of them at the same time. Might be something we do divide out into separate
Yeah.
colors. I don't
There's,
know. It depends on what
there's
people
also
think.
one thing that Yuma offers that's really good is like option of overlays. So I think you'll show it a bit more with the clothes, Toby. In the current avatar system, you could just basically, like, you had one color per item. So like once you put the shirt on, you can only tint it one color. But with the new system, basically, if shirt has multiple layers on it, so say like you have a shirt with design, like a print on it, I think you can actually show it. Like you can
Yeah,
check in
I
like yeah.
just even on this one here. So we got those
So
two layers on it,
technically,
and yeah,
yeah, and there's no limit. You can have more than two. So you can individually tint the shirt color itself and then design on top of the shirt. So in regards to hair and beard, you like down the line, we didn't have time to plug it in yet, but you can have like black beard with white streaks, or like a completely different colored beard to your hair, or you can have like
Mhm.
multiple colors running through your hair. So all these options are available to us with this system.
Thank you, both of
Yeah,
you, for the information. There is been some comments and questions related to the eyes. So some ask if that's the eyes default size, or if the eyes is like with the max size settings.
At the
um,
moment, this is default size, I would say, yeah.
it is. Yeah,
But it will be, we have options to change the shape of the eyes, have different shaped eyes. So it's an option. Reason we went with bigger eyes is one feature that we we will actually show probably one of the next streams. We plan to do the update on the like this is kind of midway through the process. We're showing the stuff, and then like once it's wrapped up and ready for the, like ready to be plugged in, we will have another stream where we will show, like, so you see where we at now, and then we'll have a stream where we will show where we took it from here. So yeah, eyes are used for expression a lot. So we went with bigger eyes to start with, but again, they will be adjustable, customizable.
Thank you again. And so, just a personal opinion. I think that some have noticed that there are games where the character have like bigger hands or bigger foot. It really depends also on the camera. So right now the eyes may look big, but because we are really close. But if you think how you usually would watch the characters even on first person, it's harder to notice the eyes when you are not so close to the character. So I know that it may look big on that close camera, but once you're in the game, you will notice that there is really a purpose for having that default size. Once again, we will have multiple options, and you will be able to customize that. There is another question. I'm not sure if it's for Toby or for Milenko. Some people are asking if we have considered the idea of having sliders instead of like different options. So I mean, instead of selecting the different body types, moving a slider to change the body type, or maybe some parameters like the jaw size and stuff like that.
We basically disable it in this feature, and that's the thing we're chewing on. Um, we've seen games with sliders. We've seen what people do with characters given sliders. Like gigantic headed people with massive, like weird things attached to them, kind of running around. So technically we can have sliders, but I would prefer to kind of limit the amount of out of their kind of like amount of distortion, I guess you can like apply to the characters. So we might give you options where you select between pre-created bodies, but we kind of doing similar thing to what was it? I like similar thing to the clothes at the moment, which is we might have like a pre-selected because we're giving option for colors, Toby, I think. So you're given set of pre-selected colors by us that you can choose from quickly, but you
Yep.
also given color pickers. So if you don't like those colors or you want to, they're kind of there but not exactly what you wanted, you can still jiggle, like around and kind of, like find the color that you want. So sliders can be plugged in, can be introduced. They might be an option, but like we still want to limit them within a reason. Like you may have like a bigger head, but you can't make a head that's twice as big. Like you can make a head that's like 10% bigger or something like that. So it is an option, and if that's what people are keen on, yes, we can plug it in. So that's like after this stream, we will be looking at the community feedback and seeing, like what of that we can address and apply. Maybe there's some great ideas that we didn't think of, so that would be pretty nice. Anyway, sorry, Toby.
That's all right. I think you covered
Do you-
everything, but it's definitely something we could look at. Yeah, just
We
It is
depends.
yeah, we
Yeah,
are really open to feedback, so we really appreciate these questions and on all the comments. And once again, the survey also help us a lot to have a goal on the development. There is another question that I can answer is if we are going to allow the players to select the color using like RGB values or something like that instead of like picking the color. And it's something like is not currently implemented, but it's in our roadmap. So the idea is that at some point you can use hex code to decide the exact color that you are looking for. It's not done yet, but yeah, we have that in mind. Like it,
Yeah, we can expose all that. It's not a problem. Yeah, like we can give like a hex code punch in, or we can give like RGB values punch in. So either one of those is available
yeah.
if there is
I,
a particular
I,
color that you use.
yeah. I have to say that this color picker feels so much better than the the one that's
Oh
in
yeah.
game at the moment. It's a lot easier to use, and just the
And
amount
we
of options that we can do. But yeah, I imagine it wouldn't be too difficult to use hex code
mm,
or RGB. Maybe we can switch between them.
yeah.
Yeah.
One last question that we have on the chat before you continue, Toby, is that if we can adjust the age of the character, if we have plans to at some point support the different age of characters.
Yes.
Yeah, that is something I want to do as well.
Yeah.
You
And
can do that
there's
through the body modification stuff. So
yeah.
just
There's another thing we want to do is we want to, like, you can also, I mean, we are throwing around the idea, so I'm not sure. Like, I think it's doable. You can also do like a longer torso, shorter legs. Like, you can adjust proportions of your character as well as height. So technically, if you want like a longer legged and like shorter torsoed character, or like a longer torso, shorter legs. Also, again, like talking about the head proportion, it goes like it should be able to go between like 5 heads tall to like 7 heads tall, so you can have more heroic or like a kind of more average. With the system. It's like it is doable. How far we take it depends on what's good for the game, I guess.
yeah.
But we can have it.
Yeah, any of those suggestions, just put them in the survey as well. We'll go through it all because this
Yeah.
is still heavily in development and there's a lot we can change at the moment. So it'd be good to do like an update in like,
Yeah.
you know, the coming month or two, and just show anything that we can kind of implement in the progress
And
of it.
with this, yeah, because the avatar can be, you should be able to be anything, like whatever you want. So, like in that regard, we want to make as many people happy as possible with this new stuff. So we listen at this point in time.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about these decals while I play with them and just how that works and what we can do with it,
We're going
Milenko?
to add like the face stuff or just,
Yeah.
oh yeah. So yeah, applying face paint, we discovered that simple things like that add a lot of personality. So yeah, we we have things like cheek blushes, cheek paints. Like each part of the face has its own kind of set of decals, and we can keep on adding new ones. But by the way, decal, like we are too technical. I keep forgetting, but basically paint you can put on top of the like character's face. So in this case, yeah, like you can paint little stars on your cheeks, or you can put makeup on your eyes, you can put lipstick on your lips, where we at the moment. So yeah, so that, like, is that the only lipstick we got? Like the only style? We have multiple,
Yeah, we've
like,
got more. They're just not in
yeah,
yet, but I'll add
yeah.
them.
So at the moment, yeah, this one, somebody was saying it looks like a bunny
Buck tooth.
teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you make it white
but
and you look at it
yeah,
from a
yeah.
distance.
If you make it white, it looks like it, but it also looks a bit tribal. So you can put markings on you that make you very different from another person who looks similar. The eye shadow, where you can, yeah,
And these are very quick and easy to add and to
yeah,
experiment with. So that's what
and
we're kind of
they
doing at
add,
the moment is
like,
iterating a lot on it.
once I've seen that in the editor, I really liked it. Those like a tribally paints they can throw on your character. And you can probably, yeah, like talking about tribally, like you can do the tribes, a society where this makeup style is popular, and then another one where something else is kind of cool. And for the hair, if you like, when we're talking about multiple ability to tint multiple things differently, something we couldn't do before is like, if you look at the hairstyle, we can tint hair one color, then we have the bandana wrapped around the head. So bandana itself, we can control the color. And then last thing is like even the little pattern design. All these things can be changed and tweaked and adjusted. So that there's like a lot of variety, allowing for personalization, which is, to me, it feels so much more free than the stuff we had available and we had to work with before. So there will be much more. What was the word, Toby? My English is like the diversity. Yes, diversity is the word. There'll be so much more diversity in the game than there is now. So like height, body proportions, skin color, uh, options for outfits, options for like makeup. The other thing we didn't have time to plug in is the like a body paint and body tattoos if somebody wants to do them. Um, that will also be an option. So a lot of ways to customize your character and ability to take your character from one server to the other. So like is that something I was not supposed to mention?
I think that's okay to mention. Yeah, but that's the idea with this is you kind of build your character and you use that
Yeah.
in different servers. And, you can go
Yeah.
back and modify it, but
And then potentially, if you get attached to your character, ability to take your character to another game, maybe. Like if we talk multiverse, there might be an independent like editor that lets you use this character to play some other game, maybe.
you're dreaming big now, Milenko. I
I'm
like
not
it.
supposed to say that, Toby.
That would be cool. Watching your character on VR chat or something like that would be cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I might show
And
this
also,
next part now as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So
So
one of the reasons why the eyes are big, we have different expressions now, and they're much more expressive than the ones we had on the deadpan characters from before. So in this case, you're taking photo of yourself, and then you can use that photo to, yeah, like you can use it for your Facebook profile if you want, or you can use it in the game, or you can put it on the wall, do whatever you want. And also, like, are you show the little on the right hand side, you have these little options for the background color of your photo, and there's little frames that you can put around your photo. So
yeah, so I think doing this as part of the first step when you're creating your avatar, just kind of um, like you can use it. This photos used throughout the game to be kind of like your ID photo, I guess, but
yeah,
kind of creates your persona. So I've got different options. This is still work in progress, but I can so
yeah,
yeah, lighting's a bit off on that still, but that's all right.
yeah, it's being tweaked. So yeah, like you
Which
get different background color, and you have like a nice frame around your photo, and there's different variants for the frame.
the thing I like
Yeah,
about this as well, if you go back to the editing, with an expression,
yeah,
you can keep editing
yeah. The
with that.
expression remains.
So that's fun. I don't know if that was intended, but
Well, yeah.
it's good.
Some of the best features have been mistake sometimes.
Mm.
If it looks good, you just keep it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is
yeah,
something
it's really,
that
really cool to play with.
I'm sorry, Toby, for the interruption. There is something that Tennessee just mentioned on the chat. But in case someone is not reading, the idea of these photos is that is going to be used on the minimap to represent your character in the game.
Mm. That's right.
Yeah. And Dmitry, yeah, I've seen the question. Wouldn't it be more interesting to add dyes as items with a related profession to change the colors in the game, including colored clothes? Yes, it's a good idea. It's gameplay idea. Yes, and there's a tailor profession as well, and there is like a canvas production and things like that. So there was something we're bouncing around for a long time as well. Is like you might need ingredients, like it's not just like a random color change. You need to collect ingredients to create the color you want and then apply it. And you might be able, like, other people might have to buy stuff from you so they can do it too, or you might come up with the color that they can't have until they get the ingredients. So potential to use it in the gameplay is there as well. How far we go depends on game designers, basically.
Yeah, I might also quickly just show the randomize button because it's fun. Luca just added it last night, but it's not the proper randomizer. It's really random. But you can get some really fun options.
Yeah, at the moment, halfway through, we don't have many options available, but the more we add, the better randomizer will work.
Yeah.
At the moment, we only have the wolf mask.
Yep. So you're
So
pretty much just wolf or not. Yeah.
shows shows 50% of the time basically.
Yeah.
But with added options, there'll be many more, and we will do catch up stream where we will show this but better.
Yep. Oh, and before anyone mentions it, the hair with the hats, that's something we're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you should be able to, but it's a tricky problem. But
Yeah.
yeah, Uma should make that easier. So.
That's nice. Now that you have the miner's hat, do you know if there? I mean, there is a question if there is a plan to include like real time light working on the miner's hat.
Yeah, that was the plan for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was made.
It is. Yeah.
There's another hat that's not there. It's early version of the minus hat.
Yeah.
With more primitive light. But yeah, it was meant to be used in dark areas, and it has a function, not just pretty looks.
Just as to have a little bit of context, using dark as a mechanic of the game is tricky because as a player you can always just go to your brightening settings and set it up to the max, and go to your monitor settings and set up the lighting to the max, gamma to the max, and then there is not dark areas in the game. So it's really complicated. I mean, we have explored the possibility of having dark as an important part of the game mechanics, but it's really tricky, and it's something that we still need to keep exploring. But yeah, we'd love to have some different real time lightings, for example, on the mining hat. Okay, thank you again, Milenko and Toby, for the answer. Toby, do you have something else that you want to talk us about, or Milenko?
Yeah, just one thing that people mention, like guys, and that on one hand, it's really nice that people can change their settings and camera field of view, and like increase the view that like they're using, or pick the one that they prefer. But at the same time, different fields of view change the way things look, and like sometimes even change the proportion of the things and the way they feel. So that's one thing with characters, and I guess everything else is once you start playing with those, once artists lose control over those, you start having problems. I mean, they're not problems for gameplay, but they're problems for like keeping visual consistency of things. But like that's the field we're in, and that's what we're working with, so it's fine. People should be able to play any way they want.
Thank you, Milenko. And Toby, do you have anything else that you want to add?
No, I think that's good. We've kind of covered a lot of the options, and the plan is to just keep tweaking this and adding more things. So yeah, send through any feedback, and then we'll keep checking out. So
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you, both of you. So we don't have any questions. I see a question right now, but that I can answer that. The webcam interface was delayed. We had some issues, as I have mentioned before. All these stream are for features that are work in progress, and sometimes work in progress has some problems that are hard to to fix. So we have delayed. We will have another stream where we are going to talk about the webcam face tracking feature. And as Milenko mentioned, we are also going to have another stream to talk about avatars, because we would like to show the progress that we have done in a couple of months or weeks, depending on the progress. And of course, we would like to read all the feedback that we get in order to improve the avatar feature. So if
Yeah.
someone hasn't filled the survey, please feel free to go to go there. We really love that feedback, and I think that would be all. Is there anything you want to add, Milenko or Toby?
Just basically from this stream on, looking at our schedule, there is quite a few new things we will be showing down the line as we're gearing up towards 1.0 or 10, depending on how people want to call the next kind of big version of the game release. So yeah, there will be a lot of good stuff coming down your way, and then update on the avatars will probably be after that, because there's many other things that need to be shown and talked about, which is exciting, I guess. And yeah, and that's all. I think we went for a while. I didn't expect stream will be this long.
Yeah, it went quick.
Yeah, it's an hour instead of half. It's good, I guess. I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think
fine.
that would be all for today. Thank you everyone for coming. Bye bye everyone, and I see you next stream.
Cheers, people. Catch you next time. Bye.